friend if she could help me find where to write 1/2 on the number line. She said,
first draw a line with 2 arrows.
Then she sang a song, here's how it goes. 0 to 1 is the whole that we split apart. The denominator tells us into how many parts. Make a line that starts from 0 to the first mark, and 1/2 is what you'll find when you get that far. My stuffed animal can't talk, but I thought I heard.
Hey Ben, on the number line, where's 1/3?
I said first draw a line with 2 arrows, and hey, I know a cool tune. Here's how it goes. 0 to 1 is the whole that we split apart. The denominator tells us into how many parts. Make a line that starts from 0 to the first mark, and 1/3 is what you'll find when you get that far. Then I texted my friend, what's to be done when the numerator isn't 1? She said,
Let's try to find 5 over 9 on the number line in like no time. Simply partition 9 parts from 0 to 1. Starting from 0, count 5, and at 5 9ths we arrive. Ooh.
0 to 1 is the whole that we split apart. The denominator tells us into how many parts. Make a line that starts from 0 to the 5th mark, and 5/9 is what you'll find when you get that far.
Let's use the number line to describe this pie. First count the total pieces, there are 5. 5's the denominator, all the parts, so 5 goes underneath the fraction bar. This number line goes from 0 to 2, but the fraction's less than 1, so here's what to do. Make 5 equal spaces from 0 to 1. Now the final step before we're done. The numerator is the one piece that's mine. After the first space, I'll write 1/5 of the line. Just remember this one tip in your minds. Always count the spaces, never the lines.
0 to 1 is the whole that we split apart. The denominator tells us into how many parts. Make a line that starts from 0 to the first mark, and 1/5 is what you'll find when you get that far.
When you get that far, yeah. When you get that far, yeah. Haha.
Hey kids, thanks for joining me today. I am here at the number line fraction race with my friend, Mr. Robot. We are racing each other. While we do a few practice runs, can you guys learn about fractions on a number line? Great. Okay, Mr. Robot, on your mark. Get set. Hey, I didn't say go yet. To start off, let's review some concepts about fractions. Here we have a fraction of 1/4. A fraction is a part of a whole or a part of a group. The numerator is the number on top and shows the parts we are talking about. In this case, it is the one green part of the circle. The number on the bottom is the denominator. The denominator tells you how many equal parts there are in all. This circle has 4 equal parts, so the denominator is 4. 1/4 of the circle is colored green. Here is a number line. A number line is pretty easy to draw, and you will soon see that they can look a lot like a ruler or a tape measure. Up top we have the fraction we need to represent on the number line. We need to divide the line into the correct number of pieces. The denominator tells us the total amount of pieces. What is the denominator in our fraction? The 4 is the denominator, so we need to divide this into 4 pieces. The 0 marks the start of the number line. We start at 0. The number 1 is on the far right. Why do you think there is a 1 there? The 1 represents the one whole or all 4 pieces of the fraction above. We could also say that it is 4/4. 4/4 is the same or equal to 1, so that is why we have the 1 here to show we have reached one whole on the number line. This number line is broken into 4 equal parts. From here to here is 1/4. From here to here, we have 2 parts, which is 2/4. From here to here, we have 3 parts, or 3/4. From here to here, we have 4 parts, or all of them, which is 4/4, or 1, like we just talked about. Something very important we need to remember is when we are counting the fractions on a number line, we are not counting the lines. We are counting the parts in between. The jumps we did with the curved lines shows the parts of the fraction. We now know where 1/4 is on the number line. It is this part right here. That was great! Let's look at a problem to see if we can solve it. The problem says, what fraction is shown on the number line? One way to start this is by finding the denominator in the fraction. Remember, the denominator is the total amount of parts, and in order to find that, we need to count all the parts. We start at 0 and count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We counted 8 parts. All that is left to do is count the parts up to the green star. Counting again, we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have both the numerator and the denominator, and the fraction shown is 7/8. Great job, guys! Let's take a look at another problem to see how we do. The problem says, what fraction is missing? In this problem, we know a lot of things already. We know the denominator is 5, so that means there are 5 total parts. You may have figured it out already, but let's count each part on the number line to find the missing fraction. We count 1/5, 2/5, 3/5, 4/5. We have gotten to the missing fraction. What is it? 4/5. The missing fraction is 4/5. Amazing! We have one last one to do, which will require you to draw your own number line. The problem says, using this model, draw the fraction on a number line. Take a minute and draw this fraction on a number line, then we will go over it together. Did you get it? Let's do it together. We have the start to our number line. The 0 is where we start, and we have 1 at the end because we are talking about just one whole shape. The denominator is what tells us how many total parts there are. If we count each part of the rectangle, we see there are 4 total parts, so we divide the number line into 4 parts. Looking at the rectangle, 2 parts are colored green, so that is our numerator. We start counting 1, 2. We now have reached the 2 on the number line. The fraction is 2/4. We have shown where 2/4 is on a number line. Great job! Another cool fact is you can notice that 2/4 is halfway between 0 and 1, which tells us 2/4 is the same as 1/2. Awesome! I am going to win, Mr. Robot. I just need to get a little faster. Whoa! Okay, maybe I will win next time, Mr. Robot. See you guys later. Goodbye.
The rational numbers on the number line is when the numerators are less than the denominators. Let's try to plot 1/2 and -1/2 on the number line. First, we see how we can plot 1/2. The numerator 1 is less than the denominator 2. When the numerator is less than the denominator, the positive rational number will be between 0 and 1. So we draw the number line like this. The number 1/2 has to lie somewhere between 0 and 1. Now we divide the length between 0 and 1 into equal parts. How many equal parts is the question? The denominator tells us the number of equal parts. The denominator is 2, so we divide it into 2 equal parts. This line divides this region into 2 equal parts. But what does the numerator tell us? It tells us the number of parts starting from 0. The numerator is 1, and therefore we take 1 part from 0 and mark 1/2 here. We can use the same procedure to mark -1/2 on the left side of 0. Divide it into 2 parts and mark -1/2 1 part away from 0. Just as integers had corresponding values, rational numbers too have corresponding values. In our example, minus 1 by 2 corresponds to 1 by 2. Let us look at another example where the numerator is less than the denominator. We have to plot 3 by 4 and minus 3 by 4. Let us plot 3 by 4 first. Since the numerator is less than the denominator, we know that the number will be between 0 and 1. So we draw the number line like this, with just 0 and 1 plotted. Remember, the denominator tells us the number of equal parts. Since the denominator is 4, we divide the length between 0 and 1 into 4 equal parts. Drawing these 3 lines gives us 4 equal parts. Now we move to the numerator. The numerator tells us the number of parts from the number 0. Since the numerator is 3, we move 3 equal parts from 0. 1, 2 and 3. So we mark 3 by 4 here. Now let us plot minus 3 by 4. Since 3 is less than 4 and the rational number is negative, we know that it will come between 0 and minus 1. We divide this length into 4 equal parts as the denominator is 4. And we mark minus 3 by 4 3 parts away from 0. That's it. We have plotted the points. But let me ask you a question. You have plotted the numbers 3 by 4 and minus 3 by 4. But do you know which numbers are plotted on these points? Here's your answer. Since this is one part, we mark 1 by 4 here. Since these are 2 parts, we mark 2 by 4 here. Similarly, we can plot minus 1 by 4 and minus 2 by 4 here. This was just for your understanding, and you don't need to mark all the points if you're asked to mark just 3 by 4 and minus 3 by 4.